though by Hatcher. Right near the referee, Carey Fraser. Sanderson angled it across. Matvichuk with the read. Dumped it further. Kept alive by Primo. Another try for Richard Matvichuk. Plenty of ice this time, and he tosses it back. They want to get a change on, but that foiled as Randy Cunneyworth flipped one that spiked out of the air by Matvichuk. Kept though, and Patrick a shot that went wide. Cunneyworth cycling with it. On back to Patrick. Shoots one, and a save made by Belfour. Rebound is put back out. Will it be icing? Patrick back, sure enough. 9:59 to go in the first, and scoreless.
You know, earlier Modano had the shot. He looked around. He knocks the puck out of midair brilliantly here. Looks around, but doesn't have anybody to pass it to. He's looking around, so he's got to take the shot. And he misses the net by a significant margin. He just can't be accurate with that cast on his wrist. It doesn't allow his wrist to be flexible. It just doesn't allow it to be flexible at all. In fact, you can see as we look at Sanderson, he got nailed right at center ice. He's had a couple of strong shifts here in the first period. He just got nailed at center ice, but you know, he got right back up and made things happen in the offensive zone. Here's Sanderson in the middle of the ice, looking around. Matvichuk's got him, and watch out, and bang. But Jeff Sanderson, who's gotten more confidence as this series has moved along, got right back up and into the play.
Carbonneau wins the draw, and it's Zubov with it. The first half of the first period of Game 5 has passed. 4-2 the shots, Buffalo, and no score. Dumped along by Keane. Patrick battles with him. Brought along by Curtis Brown. Spun, trying to get a pass away, but Guy Carbonneau hasn't won the Selke Trophy before for nothing. That's for defensive forwards. Thrown to the side of the net, and a shot by Shatan. Sealed and held by Belfour.
Shatan had 3 shots in Game 4. And never had any shots at all in the first 2 games here in Buffalo. He's now had 2 good scoring chances. Cunneyworth on the wing for a reason. Called up after the American League team that he was playing for was knocked out in the finals. And he adds a lot of intestinal fortitude to anybody's lineup. Eddie Belfour will look and see Shatan. He'll drop down expecting the low shot, but watch the puck trickle in behind him. And he reached back, grabbed it as Cunneyworth was going at it in front of the net. The puck almost squeezed through the legs here. Oh, baby. There it was. He laid a puck, but he got it. Eddie Belfour did it. So Shatan, who didn't get a shot on goal the first couple of games, Mike, has had a couple of good chances here, yet he hasn't scored a goal in the finals. Lindy Ruff said he shortened his shifts, and he's been able to play a lot more competitive because he's more rested with shorter shifts.
Boy, the 2 goaltenders in this series have just been unflappable. There are no cracks. Identical goals against averages and shutouts for both. Thrown to the front. Collared and held by Belfour. Belfour is first in wins. Hasek second. Hasek first in save percentage. Belfour second. And even though a lot has been said about Hasek and how he got his team here, without Ed Belfour, Ken Hitchcock said we would have not beaten St. Louis in round 2.
To me, Belfour's been the best star here in the first period. He's been terrific. Hull and Hogue on the ice. Skrudland did not win the last draw, so quickly a change is made. Modano's there. Modano can take draws on the left side. His left wrist is turned over. He can just sweep the puck back if he can try and win it in that fashion, which he did.
And Chambers took.
Wingers up real high right now, Mike, pulling the defenseman right out of the zone to try and help the breakout for Dallas.
Jay McKee chopped it along, but Modano is there to take it and hand it. Chambers fires, fought off by Hasek, and then brushed back out by McKee, and Hull slow to get up.
Yeah, he was knocked down, gets up and seems to be okay.
Another icing, another stoppage in this score. Right side offensive.
Yeah, I think he's going to try and draw it back here.
Right side offensive.
Yeah, I think he's going to try and draw it back here, and if Sador gets it, he may set up Zubov for the shot. If he can win the draw, Pekka will certainly try to beat him. The linesman Ray Scapinello now telling Modano about his positioning, and Modano couldn't quite win it clean.
Hasek helped out as Ward put it on his goal. Fed back ahead now for Pekka. Pekka shoves it ahead, but it is cut off and steered back by Zubov. Pass over to Lehtinen. Lehtinen with a man in the slot. It's Modano. Oh! And getting a piece of it, Hasek, and it may have gone off the post, too. Flip back on by Barada. Kept alive by Modano. Dubbed the shot. Forehander by Lehtinen. Save Hasek. Rebound for Beek working for it. Pekka chipped it along the wall at the half boards. The battle continues. Turning is for Beek, but then he was hit by Schmeling. Neither can get to it. Schmeling kicked it on. It's fed back to the point. Sador holds. Flip one in front for Beek. Saw it go off stick. Modano, loose puck, flexed out by Hasek. And thrown back across by Michael Pekka.
Great shift by Sergei Zubov. He started this whole thing finding the puck at center ice and then one great pass.
12 interesting minutes have been played. The shots are now even at 6. Pekka tapped that one. Belfour just holds and waits for Zubov. Both teams have made a change. Zubov yanked it across. Nieuwendyk couldn't get by Sanderson, so it's stoked ahead now for Langenbrunner. Then back ahead off Dave Reed. He's got Nieuwendyk. Can't work the magic wand pass. Sanderson tries to work ahead. Nicely pulls it away. Then wiped out as he jammed it in on Belfour. Langenbrunner fed it across. Tapped right back on by Sanderson. Belfour out of his cage. Jams it, but to Sanderson. Sanderson crossing. Belfour was back. And a saving play by Matvichuk. Primo turned it behind. It went through Rasmussen. Stars want to flip it out, and they're able to do that. Oh, what a close call as Belfour went out. Was able to get back just as the puck was thrown to the front. Oh, and tripped up on the play is Warner. Now it's Matvichuk connecting back over to Hatcher. Then it's steered in by Keane. Hasek pounds his stick on the ice. He wants Warner there and gets him. Warner able to shake the forecheck. And now start to get some help. Under 7 minutes to go, first period. Worked ahead now for Brown. Flipped away from Cunneyworth. Steered right on back to the defense of Jason Woolley. Woolley back over to the veteran James Patrick. Woolley lobbed one away from Shatan. Fed along by Matvichuk. Sped back in by Shatan and slowed by Belfour.
The Shatan line with Brown and Cunneyworth have had a couple of real good scoring chances.
Oh, and Brown could not get the puck away from Hatcher. Rolled back along by Blake Sloan. And sent into the glove of Hatcher. Banged it right back in, and an offside call.
Take a look at Mike Modano working his face-offs. Look at his eyes looking at the puck right there. Now the idea is for him to time the puck being dropped and get his stick underneath Holzinger's stick to sweep the puck back. As we roll it, see how he got his stick underneath, right underneath the stick, and then draws it back. He watches the puck. Now if you watch the referee's hand, it's going to go up before it goes down. And again, up, down, and he zings it right back. Good wing by Modano on the draw, sweeping it back. Now, Sergei Zubov intercepts the puck here nicely and then makes one wide pass, and all of a sudden it's offense. And that's a vertical stuff that's out of whack there, right?
You know what? That's when I'm always running to the front of the set to try and get that thing cranked around and home.
I know that wasn't horizontal. That was vertical.
It is controlled by Chambers and floated back in.
It's been a third shift for this fourth line of Dallas, which includes Benoit Hogue, and Brett Hull with Skrudland.
Hull fed one, and it was chipped over the corner glass and out of play by Brian Skrudland, and so placed out.
Once again, Brett Hull was injured during the Colorado series, early in the series. Groin bothering him, the knee bothering him, and he's been able to battle through it, but with a hit by Zhitnik, it just got to be too much. Had a brace fitted for him in Buffalo, and now he's out there playing. This is the third shift he's been able to give his team. Benoit Hogue on the other side, he's coming back from a real serious knee injury. The ligament right on the inside of his knee joint's been ruptured, so he can't hurt it any worse. He's worked his you-know-what off to get back into the lineup, and after the playoffs, win, loss, or tie, he's going in for surgery, and it'll be major surgery for Benoit Hogue. So he's worked hard to get back here.
Just as it was for Matvichuk last year, third round against Detroit, whenever his last game would be, he would have the ligament of a cadaver put on his knee. He played that series with no ligament on his knee at all. Pitchfork back out by Zhitnik. Boy, courage is one of those common commodities that I think we take for granted when we watch these athletes battle as often as they have to over an 8-week time to get this far. Game after game, overtimes in the case of Dallas so many times. Brian Skrudland's been through this before. Got to the finals with Florida, won a championship with Montreal.
6-6 the shots on goal here. Kenny Hitchcock wanted to get 10 minutes out of Brett Hull. I think he'll get that. Benoit Hogue is able to play with that knee. And for Lindy Ruff, I think his team played a great first half of this first period. Dallas has come back over the last 4 or 5 minutes and been a little bit better.
Lindy Ruff's father, Leeson, is here and was surrounded by reporters this morning very quickly, learning that the life of a bus driver back in Canada is different than the life of a media star in Dallas.
He is one character, isn't he?
He said, did you ever have to discipline your son, Lindy, when he was playing sports for you? As he coached him in baseball and hockey? He said, Joel, darn right. He threw his ball cap at me one time when I was coaching him in baseball. Had to sit him at the end of the bench, and he didn't like it much.
This one went wide. He's about to retire from the bus driving profession. Puck fed to the back now. Sador a shot, but the retirement party after 30 years is set for Saturday. That's a game. So I don't think he's going to his own party. Langenbrunner around behind. Still the battle on. Pivoting with it now is Nieuwendyk. On him is Schmeling. Just over 5 minutes left. Thrown off of Hasek. Brushed back along by Sanderson, and now spiked back out. Rasmussen with a hit on Sador. Given up to Sanderson, but handed right back. Sean Chambers can tuck it across to Langenbrunner, and from 90, he gets the wood. Brett Warren dumped it ahead. Sabres bring it on. It's sent high by Dixon Ward. Verada watched by Matvichuk. Backslap Verada. Twisting backhander was blocked wide by Hatcher. Lettinen able to emerge with this one and nudge it on ahead. Carried back by Mike Modano. Shoved up the wing. Verbeek moving in. Threw it on goal and a save by Hasek.
And Peck on the back check. Brilliant. Verada fell down. So Modano flipped the puck over to Verbeek. Got the shot. There was a rebound. And Peck on the back check saved one.
Central Mets, Cards, Mariners, Indians, Rangers, Red Sox, and later on, the Phillies will be in action too. Woolley out of play.
We've seen some good hitting here. And this is Sador about to move the puck. Rasmussen loves to hit. And look at that. Jarred the helmet right off of Sador. And then here you're going to see Verada on the back check. There's 3 Sabres there. They look pretty good. But watch Verada drop down. Loses balance. Modano goes wide. And then on the back check, just watch right in here. Pekka is going to go right over and pick up Lettinen as the puck looks like it's going to be sitting there for a rebound. Bang. Knocked him right away from the puck. A great read by Pekka on the back check.
Shots are 7-6 Dallas.
And I think Ken Hitchcock feels that this Brown, Shatan, Cunningworth line is pretty good because they have Carpino against them now and the #1 pair of defensemen, Matvichuk and Hatcher, to try to stop this pretty good offensive line here for the Sabres.
Randy Cunningworth with his first ever Stanley Cup final, having joined his team after finishing a playoff series with the Rochester Americans. Randy has won a championship before that in the American League in 1983 with Rochester when his coach was named Mike Keenan.
Oh, baby, is that right?
And
wow.
There are 5 other players on this team that have won American League titles, even though they haven't won a National League. And that with Rochester, too, as Buffalo has been developing players in that New York upstate city for quite a while.
Well, Mike Pekka is the captain for Buffalo. Randy Cunningworth was the captain when he played in Ottawa with the Senators of the NHL. So you know you're getting quality leadership when you call a person like Cunningworth up to play in your lineup.
He said this morning that one of his teammates was Yvon Lambert and the goaltender was a guy named Jacques Fluche. This one sent to the corner. After it is Hatcher. Hatcher hoisted to the glass. Pretty strong check by Cunningworth. Puck flipped out by Brett Hull. Schmeling connects on with Zhitnik. Given up to Hatcher.
Hull's first shift playing with Modano. This is his 5th shift of the period.
Shatan couldn't get it in. Dropped on back for another try by Shatan. Closed off and lifted on by Hatcher. Off Cunningworth. Brought on now by Modano. Couldn't slither it through. Shifting from defense to offense, the Sabres. Zhitnik walking it ahead with Shatan. Zhitnik drops. Shatan just got the toe of the blade on it. Back for Zhitnik, who is canceled out by Hatcher. So it's Hull glassing one along that skipped on back and is kept alive at the point by Schmeling. Angled on back now for Hatcher. Hatcher jammed it further. Swung to the front. Shatan sent it to the back and his shot went wide from Warner. And it's held by Belfour. Coming up on the new Dodge Intermission, Susie Colber and Terry Crisp will bring you first period analysis, plus a report from Joe Micheletti. That's all coming up next at intermission.
So Ken Hitchcock goes with a double shift for Modano, that time in the place of Brian Skrudland, to try and find some offense to see who can get the first goal here. Kerry Fraser having words with Hatcher as Shatan was again involved with some feistiness around the goal net of Eddie Belfour. Lindy Ruff, the Buffalo coach, felt in Game 3 in Buffalo, a game that Dallas won, he felt there was 15 shifts at least where his players were on the ice for over a minute. Now in hockey talk, that's a long period of time. He wants shifts in the neighborhood of 35 to 40 seconds. If you overstay your shifts, you can't get the tempo his team needs to use to try to beat Dallas. And that included Shatan. Too long on the ice per shift. Shorten them up. They did it in game 4, and they were much better because of it.
The Warner shot handled by Belfour and turned to neutral ice. That game 3 was the one in which the Sabres at home were only able to get a dozen shots on Ed Belfour. Lobbed ahead, hoping for Reed. Tapped back and flexed on, but grabbed off by the defense. Warner played it across to Jay McKee. McKee's pass skipped on for Verada. Verada turning, has Ward in front. Verada circling now. Verada spun one off of Belfour. Rebound knocked down by Warner and sent flying was Pekka.
I think Pekka tried to really nail Modano and just missed him.
Modano moves in, controls in some traffic, but then is outfought and back to neutral ice. It's grabbed off by Ludwig, then left behind. Ludwig recovers, and then Modano. Hasek got only a piece of that. Verbeek there. Players are falling. Puck chipped along by Modano. In close quarters, dueled with Primo. Primo able to bump him off. Get some help on defense, but it's Modano again. Nice little pass to Verbeek. Then lobbed along by Rasmussen to neutral ice in the final 100 of the period. Ludwig cranked it back in and caught a man offside.
Now this Pekka line on the ice with Verada on the right side. Works the puck around Sador. He's very, very strong. He's not real tall, but he's wide. Look at his strength. He can't be knocked off balance. Turned around, did get the shot on goal. Pekka looks for the loose puck and sees Modano. What does he try to do here? Oh, he was hunting, folks. He was looking for the head of Modano and just missed him. And I mean, just missed him. Talked about face-offs. He said Nieuwendyk strong and really quick with his stick. He said Modano just tries to win it with that first swipe. So he's been studying throughout the series what the opposition does on draws. But Pekka will sit on the bench and watch the other team's centerman. He said he studies from the bench to try and pick up tendencies to try to beat them on face-offs.
Chambers dumped in, could not get in for it, but it is kept alive by Carbonneau, who was bumped off. After it is Primo. On him is Sloan. Blake Sloan has been a very impressive rookie for this Dallas team, especially with his hitting. He wears number 11 in white. This one laid back ahead for Jeff Sanderson. Sanderson flipped one that's grabbed off by Zubov. Given up to Sanderson, though. Sanderson pivoting. He's got Primo, but it went off of him. Belfour could tap it away as Primo tried to control, but could not. 1 minute left, first period. Drive by Sanderson is held by Belfour.
There's some more battle happening near the Dallas net as Belfour looks good. Shots are now 9-7 in favor of Buffalo. Sloan is a black belt in karate. Only I want to scrap with him. Here he works on Rasmussen, but Rasmussen had the shoulder ready and knocked Sloan down. Now here you're going to see in the zone, Zubov harassed, quick turnover. Sanderson here will draw everybody to him. Watch all the white jerseys, 4 of them. Drops the puck off, but Primo couldn't take the pass off his skate blade to a stick blade, or he would have been in. What a nice play by Sanderson, forcing the turnover from Zubov and drew like a magnet. 4 different stars to him, and then tried to set up Primo, who's a little frustrated. You don't get much room in the offensive zone like Primo would have had. That's very seldom you see that happen in this series, where Primo couldn't handle a pass.
Line changes for both teams, and it's Pekka against Nieuwendyk. The lecture coming from Jay Shares, the linesman. It's tapped wide of the cage and played by Matt Tkachuk and just banked back out. Jay McKee after that. Pekka getting in the way of Nieuwendyk. Back ahead with it is Dixon Ward. Crosses, muscled off by Matt Tkachuk, but recovered to stoke it in deep. Hatcher takes it there in the final 40. Locked up by Pekka. Puck fired around. Langenbrunner pinned by McKee. Dixon Ward tries to fling it deeper and can't. Nieuwendyk off Langenbrunner, and now an opening for Hatcher to play to Reed and then Langenbrunner. Moving up with Nieuwendyk. Langenbrunner drops. It's gloved by Reed on goal and saved by Hatcher.
Yeah, sneaky shot there with 20.5 seconds to go. A lot of crisscrossing going into the offensive zone, and then Reed with not a hard shot, but a sneaky shot. You'll see the Stars work the puck out of the zone. Now watch all the crisscrossing right in here. 3 players. Now, who's got the puck? Reed does. And it's a pretty good shot that forces the face-off now in the Buffalo zone. See Dominic Hasek sets up, reads it nicely, is able to make the save.
"17 shots total, 17 saves. Tie game, just as Ken Hitchcock told us before game 1. He said it's going to be a lot of tie and maybe a 1-goal lead, and it's been almost exclusively that in this whole series.
Dallas hoping to get some offense right here. They don't have anybody on the right side of Madonna. Now they send Lettinen over there. Madonna's got Brett Hull right there. Remember how he likes to sweep the puck in that one direction. I don't think he can go forward. So Curtis Brown is out there against him. He's got to understand that Madonna can't go to the right. He's only going to try to pull a puck to his left. Brett Hull's there. Can Curtis Brown tie him up? Yeah, he did a nice job. Great job by Brown.
Shitnik bumped with Lettinen. And it is lobbed off the glass, but we get a stoppage of play.
And a broken stick in the Buffalo zone. Brown did a great job here. You try to tie, then win a loose puck, because Madonna doesn't have strength to win a loose puck. Brown got a stick down first. Now watch. Loose puck. Can Madonna go after it? I don't think so. He doesn't have any strength to do it. And his stick, well, of course, when his stick snaps in half, it's kind of hard to get to the loose puck. Brown did a good job. Now, will Buffalo make a change, or will they keep Brown out there? They keep him out there, and Madonna and Nieuwendyk go now. And this is a smart play, I think, by Ken Hitchcock. Put 2 guys out there, Nieuwendyk and Madonna. 13 seconds to go. Play the percentages. Now that's Hull back there and Zubov back there. 2 guys that can really shoot the puck well. If the puck goes deep from Brown, Lettinen's got to get in there and get it. Or Madonna, I apologize.
Big Daryl Sador at the edge of the circle near the hash marks. Will probably help cluster things up with a conga line in the front with 13 seconds to go. From the tie-up, it's a clean win. Curtis Brown with 2 solid performances on defensive zone faceoffs. Cunningworth with a pass that was offside to Shatan with 4.1 to go.
Interesting there, Mike. Sador was in front of the net right for the faceoff, but it was Sador that got back to help break up the pass to Shatan, as the defenseman was smart in getting back. Now, Sador's got to read this play. He's got to read it. That's him in front. Win or lose the draw. It looks like they've lost the draw, so watch him retreat. He goes to the boards in case the puck is shot up there. It's not, so he's got to get back. And I'll tell you what, Buffalo read the play nicely, too. They almost got the breakaway through the middle. Just offside, a 2-line pass, so it didn't quite work.
When Ken Hitchcock first came here, Daryl Sador was denied the power play until half the season was over. He said, this guy's going to learn to play 5-on-5 defensively. And having coached him in junior, Hitchcock knew that he loved the offensive part of the game, but he had to learn the other style to stay in the NHL. He did, and he has.
And here in this game, if Hull or Hogue, the 2 players playing with bum legs, if they go down, Sador will be the player to move up front. They'll go with 5 defensemen so they can keep their 4 lines going. But it hasn't happened. We had a fairly tough battled first period here. The goaltender's good. Belfour was better than Hasek. And we have a scoreless period.
9-shot Sabres, 8-shot Stars. The end of the first period. No score. Susie Colbert. Terry Crisp will be along with the New Dodge Intermission Report after these messages and a word. Your local Fox station.
I think Dallas, if they get more passionate, they'll get their crowd into it more here.
Chipped onto Madonna, got it back to the point. Hatcher. And Hatcher with a wrister that ricocheted back. Through this series, the Hatcher wrist shot has been a problem for Dominic Hasek. This one tipped ahead and brought back on. Left in a drive, and Hasek covers and then swept it behind. Looked like he might have wanted to trap it, but it rolled off his stick. No matter, as it's chipped back to neutralize. Pat Verbeek got up slowly, but is back in the play now. Twisting with it is Madonna. Mike Madonna tries to swagger his way through. It's punched back in by Lettinen. Madonna moves in with Shitnik. Bumped him to the boards. Mike Madonna, bad hand and all. Shitnik took it away. Now Dave Reed jostled from behind. Reed defended, got it out to Sador, and the backhander was wide. Turned back along and kept alive by Zubov. Out in front, a sweep by Nieuwendyk is blocked by Hasek. Flip back further, and then Zubov retreating now to neutral ice.
Nieuwendyk had Reed wide open in the slot and didn't see him. Good start here by Dallas.
Langenbrunner has a man open, but no possession of the puck. Reed throws one. Sadora shot. It went off the skate of Brown. Reed turning with it. Rammed to the boards by Randy Cunninworth. Puck controlled now. Langenbrunner without a helmet. Menaced by Zhitnik. Langenbrunner again. Through one that ricocheted off of Schmeling. Zubov fires, and that one went wide. Pinching in is Sador. Daryl Sador wedged off by Chatan and centered one that's tipped back out in a penalty.
A penalty called against Buffalo as Dallas comes out to start the second period, and they've got the crowd into it now, and we'll have a power play. But here comes the center, Curtis Brown, and he knocks Langenbrunner down. You can call it interference, you can call it cross-check, you can call it a penalty. Brown's in the box, and he was their best face-off man in the first period. Interference is the call, so the Stars go on the power play now. And Brett Hull does get to start the power play with Nieuwendyk and Langenbrunner, who drew the penalty. Reed's the defensive forward on the Nieuwendyk line, so he sits as Nieuwendyk gets to work with Brett Hull. We'll see if Brett Hull can stay out of traffic.
Hatcher keeps. McKee. Nieuwendyk belted him. Puck up for grabs. Nieuwendyk. Hatcher again. Watched by Juneau, dumped it along now for the swirling Nieuwendyk. Back for Hatcher. Tough play, but he kept it alive for a moment. Now closed off. Olsinger got it ahead. Joe Juneau with the drive, and it's turned to the glass by Belfour, and it careened into the seats.
You know, a tricky little play, Mike, right off the face-off in the Dallas zone, or pardon me, the Buffalo zone. Watch Warner here use his stick to tug at the leg of Brett Hull. Brett Hull's got a bad knee, he's got the bad groin. See a little pull? You never know. It pulls the man off balance, but it also may irritate what is bothering Brett Hull. Watch over there. Watch the little pull on the skate. See that? Hey. It's not, this is love and war out here, man. You got to go for it. So Hull starts the power play. And now a quick change as Nieuwendyk and Verbeek. That line with Lettinen go to work on the power play. Make that Madonna, not Nieuwendyk, I'm sorry.
Brett Hull, 6 shifts in the first period, 3 minutes and 52 seconds of playing time. Ken Hitchcock had said, like to get 10 good minutes out of Hull and Benoit Hogue in this game. Hogue had about the same amount as Hull. Here's Madonna looking across. Madonna swung one to Sador.
Now Ken Hitchcock made the change. He took the one line off the ice and put Madonna out there. Stay on side is the key. Watch Sador go to the net, and you've got to find the seam. And there's the pass, and right to the top corner goes the shot. Madonna's looking. He can't shoot it, so his idea is to make passes to set up offense. Now you want to see an accurate shot. Watch where this shot goes. I mean, that's as good as it gets. Hasek can't believe it. Hasek's there, the hand's a little low, and it's a brilliant shot by Sador as the home team gets the first goal. Dallas the 1-0 lead on the power play. Brown was in the box, knocking down Langenbrunner. Sador, who's moved in a lot in this game already, with a brilliant shot.
Madonna and Zubov the assists on the power play goal in 2:23. Thundering check by Keane. Rasmussen trickled it on. Stoked back in by Primo. Stopped behind by Belfour. Into some trouble, though. Flipped it off the rushing Sanderson. And Chambers lobs one that is kept only for a moment by Woolley. Retrieved now by Jeff Sanderson. That one knocked down by the high stick of Ludwig. Play continues as Patrick lays it on back. So 3 minutes have been played in a different kind of second period. More action, more hitting, and an offside stops the clock. Daryl Sador from Madonna and Zubov. And this is a 1-0 game, Dallas. It's Tuesday, 8 o'clock. The last time a series went 7 was in '94. Before that, 87. Before that, 71. Only 3 times in the last 30 years has it needed 7 for a Stanley Cup final.
Well, I'm going to be a little selfish here. I hope it goes 7. They've had a blast in Buffalo. They've had a great time here in Dallas. We've been treated well. And this is another very tight game as Brian Skrudland now gets lectured by Ray Scapanello, the linesman.
Holsinger there, and stepping right up was Woolley. Boy, did he anticipate that one well. He just took it, and now here's Barnes feeding one from behind, and trying to click with a pass was Juneau, and it spiked away from him by Hall. And there'll be an icing touch-up from Patrick. 16:42 left in the second, and the Stars ahead by a count of 1-0 on a goal by Daryl Sador. He is 27 years of age. Ken Hitchcock has known him over half his life. He was spotted at age 12 when Hitchcock was coaching junior hockey. Now, you're not eligible for junior until you're around 16. So he listed him on his prospective list. It cost him 4 draft places at age 12. Daryl Sador was a goalie as a kid, and Hitchcock described him as a pudgy 15-year-old center. The next year, he was a left winger, and the next year after that, he was changed to a defenseman and paired with a guy named Scott Niedermeyer, who now plays for the New Jersey Devils.
Could you imagine those two guys back there in junior hockey?
Yeah. Lots of points coming from them.
Baby.
Off a glove of Patrick. Recovered by Hogue.
Penalty. Brett Hull was pulled down as he was driving in towards the net. Kerry Fraser, the referee in the corner, made the call. So Dallas, who comes off a power play goal, will have a chance to work the power play again. It's Woolley who picks him up. Hull lifted the puck in the zone and went towards the middle of the ice to get to the net. Woolley will pick him up and knocks him down. The problem is the puck's not there. It's got to be called. And Brett Hull does the job, drawing a penalty. Right now we have some more lecturing going on as Don Koharski was talking to Brian Skrudland. No call made there. The net will be put back in its spot. Woolley in the box. And the power play goes to work. And Brian Skrudland, after the play, is talking to Hasek. And then James Patrick comes across and gives him a shot. And that's when the referee, Don Koharski, goes over and gets the finger out. When you get the finger out from the referee and he wants your attention, you better listen.
Peace River, Alberta's had a nice play.
Oh, yeah, been way up there. Winter's a little long, but that's when hockey's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm sure that Skrudland really appreciates it, having now played in warm weather climates like Miami and Dallas. Wouldn't have dreamed of that when he was growing up there. Slugged on back after a good, quick opportunity off the faceoff. Thrown back by Hull to the point. Fed on by Chambers, and then Hull again. Hull fed it across. Oh, and a shot was stopped by Hasek from Darian Hatcher, who crept in.
You know what you're seeing here? The Stars are moving the puck through the penalty-killing box of Buffalo and making Hasek move from one side to the other. Now, generally, this is the area you don't want pucks to go through. But watch the puck go right across. Hull back to the point. He gets it back. Look at Hatcher move down low. The puck, look at it go through the seam. And now Hasek has to move across and then get back up to make the save. Remember the pass that went through from Madonna to Sador for the goal? This is similar. Langenbrunner stays out of the crease. Hasek down, but he gets back up to make the save. Langenbrunner stayed out of the crease. Did Newendijk too. But they can't find the rebound as Hasek makes the save. You get a goalie moving east-west like that, things will open up. And Buffalo's got to stop that pass going through their penalty-killing box.
Brown and Newendijk on the test. Brown prevails. It's drilled along by Warrener, but kept by Sador. Sped on to Hull. Hull pointed it on back. Zubov there. Hull, side of the net open. It's thrown right off of Dominik Hasek by Sador. Oh, got it back to Sador. Cranks a shot. Save Hasek. Oh, and rebounded. Spiked away from Langenbrunner, who pounds his stick on the ice. He thought he had a shot at one on the rebound.
I think he wanted to get the deflection on the original shot too, Mike, and he couldn't get to it.
Newendijk tries to pull by. McKee retreats to the corner. McKee rammed by Pat Verbeek. Puck popped up in the air. Lettinen couldn't come up with it. McKee was on him. Puck against the back of the goal. To the corner and trying to step free is Juneau. Down to the ice he went, but from his knees, got it near Holsinger. Fed quickly and it pinballed over to be jabbed back out on the backhand of Warrener.
It's the best this Dallas power play has looked in a long time, and the Sabres have got to be careful with taking penalties the rest of the way.
Under 40 to go on it. Moving back in now is Zubov. Sador wants it. He now has it. Madonna. Zubov back to Madonna. Lettinen let it go to Sador. Sador with a shot that went wide. Lettinen was there hoping for a tip. The follow-up, and the Sabres shorthanded can bring it out. Here's Zhitnik leading it ahead. Zhitnik with a pass, and Stu Barnes wiped out trying to take it. Sador back. It's a 3-on-2. Modano drops for beat. Back to Modano. Got one in front of it off the skate of Juno. And it's angled off the glass back down. 2 seconds and 1. Woolley is out.
Zhitnik tried to move the puck to Barnes. The pass was a bad one. It trapped both players. Dallas had a great setup but couldn't finish. And I think Juno got back to help it out, Mike.
This time it's Shatan with a shot that's deflected up into the seats by Chambers.
Oh, there's a souvenir after some hectic action here. Dallas in the power play flying right now. Now, Zhitnik moved up ice, tried to feed Barnes, but he put the puck behind him. And when he does that, Barnes stops and falls. So they got 2 guys trapped, only 2 back. And one of them is a forward. It's Schmelik and Juno. Look at the pass work. Across from Modano, and there's Juno. Oh, I think Juno made a brilliant play on the back check. Great stop of the pass as the puck was moved across. Here's Verbeek and McKee battling along the boards. McKee outnumbered because Dallas was on the power play. Juno made a brilliant play coming back, filling in for Zhitnik, and stopped the Modano pass. And you can see, Mike, Modano's passing, not shooting. He can't shoot because of the wrist with accuracy or zip. Ken Hitchcock felt that he could have had 3 goals in Dallas in Game 4, but he couldn't shoot the puck well enough. Of course, Hasek may have had a lot to do with that, and the Buffalo defense. So he's passing the puck here, as you see.
Oh, and here's an opportunity. Blake Sloan moving ahead. Sloan wedged out of the play. It was falling as Patrick met him. Around behind Sloan, steps to it, but can't get there. Eric Rasmussen up with it. Rasmussen for the Sabres, who are trailing in the game 1-0. If you're just joining us, the lone goal on the power play by Daryl Sador. Pretty good hit on Primo. Rasmussen closed off by Keane. Battle continues, and Hatcher spun it off the half boards. Woolley able to keep it alive for Buffalo. Dumped it around behind, but unable to reach that one with Sanderson. So again, the Sabres drop back, and Hasek has to come out to paddle it along.
A good shift here for Primo's line. The Buffalo forwards have to pick up their pace, force turnovers, and force with forecheck. They've got the speed. They've got to get the puck deep like Patrick just threw it in. Now develop forecheck if you can.
Another change by the Sabres. Carbonneau flipped it out of play. 6:43 gone, second period, 1-0 Dallas, and play stopped.
Now, Mike Modano, we termed him maybe the X factor in this game. That was a shot that went wide. Now he's moving into the zone. It's a pass. He's really been skating well. There he knocks the puck right out of midair. Shot that went wide. He's won some draws. He's worked the puck. That was one where he broke his stick and Brown beat him. And then a moment ago, he was able to move in, make a little drop pass, get the puck back from Verbeek, and then try to set up the play across. But Joey Juno was right there. And look who was in there again. It was Sador. Juno made one brilliant play there. Or it might have been 2-zip in favor of Dallas. So Modano has been a sharp player so far in this game. Call him the X factor for their hockey club. Makes it tough for Pekka. Does he play Modano? Does he play Nieuwendyk? On this shift, Pekka's out against Modano.
Hasek spiked it and then flexed it on back for Schmelik. Václav Varada brings it ahead for Buffalo. Tried for Pekka. Follow-up comes from Ward, but Pekka had already been jousted offside. We'll return to Reunion Arena right after this.
Chambers around 200. And there's the collision. Both players going down, but that's Pekka finding a way to lead his team with some open ice hitting. And the other secret for Pekka is he doesn't stand still very often. He's always moving. That helps him get leverage when he tries to knock down players that are bigger than he is.
Curtis Brown's line is out now for Buffalo as Schmelik pushed it back in. Belfour sent it to the glass, shrugged down by Shatan, but then he was closed off. Matvichuk tried to whip one ahead, and it just caromed on back for a play to be made by Hatcher. Good roll block by Zhitnik on Langenbrunner. Puck turned over to the Sabres from that. Floated back for Curtis Brown behind. Boy, was he ever shoved off by Matvichuk.
It was Matvichuk who originally turned the puck over here to create all this problem for his team.
Jamie Langenbrunner. And that one hung up in the linesman for a moment, so that'll be more jostling and perhaps a misunderstanding.
And Mike, you'll notice that Ken Hitchcock is playing his #1 defense pairing of Hatcher and Matvichuk against the Curtis Brown line. Brown, Shatan, along with Cunnyworth, have been good at even strength. And the Dallas team realizes it, so they're trying to make sure they have their best defense pairing out there against them. And there will be a penalty coming as Langenbrunner gets a roughing call. So he's going.
Sure enough did. As you see how tight this series has been, the only exception was 26 seconds at the end of game 2 after Hatcher had scored into the empty net and Dallas had a 2-goal lead. The rest has all been a tie or a lead of 1 goal. But now Buffalo gets a power play and a chance to even things up here.
Belfour, with not a lot of work here in the second period, does a lot of stretching exercises to stay loose. This was a scrum. There was a loose puck, and then Langenbrunner came in late. And as he moves in, there, shot to the face of Cunneyworth. And that's not a good penalty to take in the neutrals, and not a good penalty to take at any time in a game as important as this one. So now the Stars look at a penalty kill. They start with Carbonneau-Keane. Carbonneau-Keane used to be teammates in Montreal, and they killed penalties as a unit, as a pair in Montreal when they were there. And of course, here in Dallas, they've been really good killing penalties together.
Both teams have 3 power play goals in the series. That's it. Puck taken by Chambers. Well, the penalty killing teams have been splendid. This one cleared back down. Dallas has killed the last 16 in a row. Pivoting with this is Zhitnik now. Lays it ahead by Carbonneau. Carbonneau trying to fight it back off, and it's fed back to the point. Zhitnik has it there. Deals it back in deep to Juneau. Juneau hands it on back to Zhitnik. Juneau again. Big drive attempted by Woolley, and he just shanked it off his stick. And this gives the Stars a chance to bring it back. Mike Keane ahead, wanting to step by. Shown a little space by Zhitnik, and then it just closed right out. So Juneau able to lay it back ahead. Barada threw it in, came to the bench. Change in lines. Puck drilled back off. Sanderson, nice keep. Flipped it off a glove. It popped over to Chatan. Chatan wanted to center, but Mike Modano said no. Modano trying to step free. Played it over for Hatcher. Challenged there by Stu Barnes. Hatcher muscled it further. Puck turned over. Unable to reach it with a stick was Lettinen, so he kicked it. Got it on to Modano, and Modano will kill some more time. And then lay it back down.
And Modano and Lettinen make a pair. Keane, along with Carbonneau, make a pair. And those two just rotate, those 2 pairs. So far, Buffalo can't get set up.
Spike back in by Sanderson, set up by Belfour. Flip back along, hustling to it as Keane rammed high and hard by Sanderson, and it's chipped back down.
The Sabres threw the puck in, but they couldn't recover. Couldn't recover the puck. 5 seconds to go. And no real offense here from this power play at the Sabres.
Laid ahead now for Primo. Wants to dance by. Primo around behind. Checked off by Dave Reed. Moving in deep to jab it further is Warner, but it's taken by Zubov. Can't flip it out. Kept alive by Chatan. Shovels it back. Drive by Warner. It's kicked aside. Karam's back to neutral ice, and here's Langenbrunner. 1 man back. It's Warner, and he left the puck behind. And then Warner couldn't take it. Langenbrunner again. Oh, and he's great trained by Primo. Zubov in neutral ice for Dallas. Halfway through regulation time. Langenbrunner moving on in. Tripped up on the play, and a shot went off Reed. Play continues. It's jammed across drive, and a save by Hasek. And there's more after the whistle.
And Langenbrunner knocked backwards, and he made sure that he got Hasek on the way down. Hasek with a big save on the blast from Sador, who's had the best offense in this game for Dallas. The penalty kill for Dallas, brilliant. Brilliant. Langenbrunner out of the box. He comes out of the penalty box and started to make it happen. There he is working with Warner. Draws a crowd and then got nailed, and I mean nailed, by Primo. Now here's Reed drawing a crowd, dropping the puck to Langenbrunner, and then with a stick through the legs, he was twisted down to the ice. The referee, Koharski, standing right there, no penalty. Now you're going to see Langenbrunner go to the front of the net, and he gets nailed. And watch him catch a piece of Hasek on the way down. Langenbrunner will take the shot here and get a piece of Hasek. Langenbrunner also got a stick up on McKee, the defenseman. Boy, it's been a pretty good battle. Langenbrunner gets up, and he'll find McKee right here. Watch his stick go up to McKee. Right in there, right across the face.
McKee with no helmet at the time, too. It's not often the sticks come up when the guy is helmetless.
Langerbrenner looks to be hurting just a little bit. Either that or exhausted after that hard shift outside the penalty box.
Buffalo did not get a shot on the power play. A little under half of the 2-minute time that they had was attack time. You see the shots in the period, 6-1 and 14-10 in the game.
Well, Brett Hull's backing off now, Mike. I don't think he wants to be interfered with when the puck's dropped, like we showed earlier in the period. So see how he backs up? I think Scruder's going to try to go to his right, which he does.
Zubov flipped one. Hasek watches. Plenty of help. Patrick trickled one that is kept alive. At least it looked as though it was to me, but not to the guy who was paid to make that call, and that's Ray Scapinello. He's been in the league 28 years, 19 times in the finals. He's right.
He was right. And he was very close to the play. He made the call.
So what about that laser surgery you were telling me?
$2,000 an eye, by the way. You know, earlier we saw the Buffalo players on a face-off tight to Brett Hull just tug at his legs to try and irritate the injury. On a last face-off, Brett Hull made sure he lined up back away so there could be no immediate interference. Dallas, as usual, wins the majority of the draws. But Buffalo, they did a great job, I thought, in Game 4 on the face-offs. The Sabres at home.
Oh, forced off by Juneau, who tapped it behind for control by the Sabres defense. Knifed down by Hogue, scrapped for by Barnes. Hull swung it back in, and Schmelik will have to go get it. Strudlin right in his face. Jostles with Schmelik, who tries to one-hand it along. Coming by to take it is Benoit Hogue. Hogue's pass is tapped away by James Patrick. Juneau flips it on, and Barnes can bring it further. A change of defense for Buffalo as Barnes moves back in. Had it swung away by Sador, and it went off a stick to neutral ice. 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go, second period. Nice move by Warner. Fires, pad stop by Belfour. Swung to the corner by Sador.
Right after the draw, Brown out there to go. Right after the draw, Brown out there to go opposite Madonna.
The Chuck chipped it across, had a second attempt, and this time got it further, so it's Schmelik. Aiden put it on a power play early in the second and an offside.
Mike, we should do a good deed for some of the inner city kids in Buffalo. Dominic Hasek, there's a piece of art out by Janet Mozak from Edmonton. This is a December to remember. There's a D there, December to remember, when he set a 6 shutout record. The O for the Olympics, that's in the middle of the hardest work, and the M, D-O-M, M for MVP, which he has won twice. This is $139 to buy this, and when they sell and up to $1 million worth, again, there's the D, there you see the O, there you see the M. And if you folks are interested, they're $139 a piece. It goes to the Variety Club of Buffalo for inner city kids to play hockey. Dominic Hasek will match up to $1 million. $1 million of those that are sold, and it's going to go towards building a new arena for these kids, the inner city kids of Buffalo, to be able to go and play hockey and learn about the sport. So I hope it works. It's a great piece of work. There you can see, you can go on the internet or make the phone call to Buffalo. Just a great piece of work. Dom signs them. They're terrific stuff, and I hope that that it works for him. Eddie Belfour does a great deal of work too, charity-wise. On the front of his mask, he's got the wishbone for the Make-A-Wish Foundation that he's involved with. Does a lot of work. See on his chin down there, the Make-A-Wish Foundation that he does a lot of work for. So both goalies doing their part, and we appreciate it.
It is Zhitnik taking the resulting faceoff. Alexei Zhitnik swung it across to Pekka. Big drive, and that one eaten up by Belfour, and he'll decide to cover on this one and get the stoppage of play. The NHL awards take place in Toronto a week from tonight. That's how close we are. There could be a game here, a Game 7 Tuesday, and then everybody that's up for an award scurries to Toronto. Dominic Hasek has been nominated for 3. One would be presented to someone at noon that day. That is the NHL Players Association Award for the MVP, the Lester Pearson. And he's nominated for 2 others that will be presented at night. And then the next day is the expansion draft in Boston for Atlanta, and the next day after that, the entry draft in Boston.
Well, the expansion draft, well, look at Dominic Hasek. There's one thing missing, and that is, of course, the big one in my opinion. That's the Stanley Cup. And his team right in the hunt. They're down by 1 here in Game 5. The Stars have the 1-0 lead. His team has not been able to get in much offense here in the second period, Mike. They've had 3 shots, but nothing what we term quality shots here in the second period. From this faceoff, it is Hatcher.
linesman involved in that crunch, and it's brought on by Nieuwendyk. Getting a piece of it was Hasek as Nieuwendyk let go with one of his best. Brought right back now in a 3-on-3, trying to get in as Brown. Loose puck to the slot area is chipped high, and Nieuwendyk can swing it back ahead and control. Has Langenbrunner and Reed. Reed is loose. Oh, and the pass didn't get through because of Randy Cunneyworth, or Reed would have been all alone.
Can't tell you what a great save that was by Hasek. That was a blast, accurate blast by Nieuwendyk, and the glove was there for Buffalo.
Hasek tends, and it is controlled by the defense of Rhett Warrener. Modano blocked that. Warrener came back. Modano duels with him. Verbeek for Modano. Can't get a stick loose. Now does. Lettman rolls it behind for Verbeek. Stood off by McKee, and then he caught a stick up high. Around now for Modano. Mike Modano shoves it to the back. Hatcher a shot, and that one blocked. And laid ahead. Oh, and Hatcher kept it from Sedano. Gets it and fires, and Hatcher blocked that one. What a defensive shift by the Dallas captain. Sador cranks one that goes wide. Verbeek there. Tried to slug it in deep. It's taken by Zhitnik, who turns and then pats it back over to Schmelik. Richard Schmelik with a pass that is spiked back by Zubov. It caroms over for Sador. Circle to Zubov. 6.25 minutes. And a long pass ahead for Brett Hull. Cannot get by the defense. Help came from Zhitnik. And Alexei Zhitnik can look ahead with it now.
Oh, Hull tried the payback on Zhitnik. He nailed him. I remember it was Zhitnik that hit Hull. You know, Joe Micheletti talked about in the open the Stars getting their forwards up high on the defenseman trying to pinch. Now you're going to see the puck come around to this side. That's Warner. He's going to try to pinch, but the Stars have their forwards up high. See how they chip the puck by him? And now all of a sudden Nieuwendyk can go in and take the big shot at Hasek. Oh, what a save that was. Modano here really has been battling, wrist and all. And there he's with Brown and then Warner. Now Brett Hull was nailed by Zhitnik and put out of a game and the next one. That time Hull got a hold of Zhitnik. Zhitnik's been the hitter all series long. That time he was the receiver. Now Hatcher had given the puck away, got back twice on this play and stopped Shatan from getting the shot on goal. Boy, that long reach sure helps, and Hatcher doesn't look very athletic at times, but he is quite quick for a big man with that long reach.
Blake Sloan goes charging in. Hasek turned it behind. Sloan got there first, muscled it back onto Keane, who was hit by a couple. But now it's Woolley. And then Patrick. Angled ahead, and they've got Holsinger, but it's carried back in by Juno. Juno tucked one in front. It went off Sador. And it's played back along, but back up the wing where it can be touched back out by Keane. Collared by Juno. Down to the ice went Blake Sloan. The crowd reacted. Twirling with it as Woolley dumped it back in deep. Sador crunched off by Stu Barnes. Trying for it is Holsinger, and it's sealed underneath the fallen Sador.
You know, both teams right now are doing a lot of little things that are on the borderline of a penalty or not, and the referee's letting them play, and I like that. See, there's a pretty good trip, but it was a nifty little sneaky play by James Patrick. No call. Let him play. Barnes with a good hip-to-hip on Sador. Sador's had a brilliant game. That time it was Barnes with a great hit, knocking down Sador. This is what Buffalo needs more of. Mike, they've got to get the forecheck going here. They haven't had a real good quality scoring chance in the second period. It's 5:18 to go in the second period. And they need to do it by forcing and hitting. Look at Sador's face there. I think he felt the effects of that good hip hit by Stu Barnes, and that was a beautiful body check.
Well, I agree with you. If it doesn't deny a scoring opportunity, let them keep going.
Let them play. More flow to a game that way.
Oh, yeah.
Both coaches like it when teams can just get out there and play the game. Now this time Primo's got Sanderson back behind him.
Sanderson swung it behind. Greg Ludwig tries for Reed. Skipped on. Nieuwendyk couldn't reach. Jay McKee got some help from Rasmussen.
Buffalo, quick change on the fly. They want Peck out there against Nieuwendyk as much as they can here on the road. And they got it done after winning the last faceoff.
Langenbrunner dumped it around behind. Reed took over there. Centered one, and it's touched away by Pekka. Pass back for him, and is able to fiddle it back to center ice and avoid getting hit at the same time. And an offside call. Oh, there have been a lot of hits in this game, and one of the men stays down. That's Langenbrunner.
That was Ward who came up high on him. Nothing to be called here.
On the Dallas Stars ahead on Daryl Sador's power play goal at 2:23 with John Davidson, Mike Emrick. Both teams at full strength. It has been a night of rare penalties. Only 3 minors in the game. Tucked back across. Taking some lumber, Zhitnik into the catching glove of Belfour. Paddles it on for Matt Tkachuk. Pekka there, got in the way. Wheeling was Dixon Ward. Parada chipped one that went off of Hatch. Tucked along, but right over for Ward. Swung one that ricocheted off of Matt Tkachuk.
And again, that was Pekka trying to nail Modano. And Modano's so quick in this game, he's avoided a lot of those hits.
Modano stood in the way of Pekka. It's worked back over now. Parada and Ward playing some toss with it. Parada tried to center. Pekka, and then Ward, a shot that went wide and through the crease. Now Buffalo getting some opportunity. It is Pekka again. Away from Ward, taken by Schmelik. Schmelik chipped it across, but the Stars read that. They wanted to lead something up the ice, but that failed. Schmelik back to Parada, wanted to hack it in. It's off Matt Tkachuk. And then laid back down, and both teams are in the midst of changes. Richard Schmelik handed it on to Randy Cunnyworth. Cunnyworth with a crisp pass ahead that's brought on by Brown. Curtis Brown trying to turn by Sador. Slams on the brakes. Sador came back to try to cancel. Brown worked it on now to Shatan. Zubov and Shatan testing behind. Skrudlin angled it off a glass support. Patrick kept it there. Patrick dumped it around behind away from Shatan. And it's Brett Hull out again. And this one lifted out of play. Time for our Oracle trivia question. Can you name the first goalie to win the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoff MVP? The first goalie to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. Think it over? The answer is forthcoming.
Got to be somebody with the Stars or with Buffalo.
Well, he was a former Buffalo goaltender. Roger Crozier did it with the Detroit Red Wings in 1966.
Was he fun to watch play goal? Come on. Here's Pekka taking a run at Modano. Modano's quick, avoids the hit, and he's been doing a lot of that during this game so far. But Pekka, who always is in motion, he'll move up the ice, and guess what? He'll find Modano again, folks. Right there. Or maybe Modano was finding him. That's quite a battle with those two players.
Keane lobs. Hasek glides out, tapped it back to the corner. Sloan wanted to take his stick away, or at least chop it off. Thrown back along, Hasek paddles it the other way. Sloan gets to that one, took the hit. It came to Keane for a shot that was snuffed out by Woolley. Joe Juneau twists with this. Good forechecking by Dallas right now. Juneau's pass to Woolley. And Woolley wants to buy a little time to make a good decision. He decides on Patrick, and Patrick flies it back in on the bounce. Chambers back. Got there first for the icing. Coming up on the new Dodge Intermission, Susie Colber and Terry Crisp will bring you second period analysis, plus a report from Joe Micheletti. That's all next at Intermission. We mentioned Atlanta will join the NHL as the 28th team. There is a question mark over Pittsburgh, but the question is starting to lean toward a little bit better resolution and a lot more optimism in Pittsburgh. They have sold 500 brand new ticket plans, and this is even before advertising or any word has been circulated in the business community. Well above normal for them. It's held in an escrow fund because the team is uncertain right now, but 1 week from today, the ruling of the judge, and still a lot more arm wrestling going on between the political factions, but it's looking more and more like Mario Lemieux and his group may combine with others to win this thing out and have hockey in Pittsburgh. That's the way it looks today.
It stays right where it belongs, and that's in Pittsburgh. Great hockey city, and also good luck to Don Waddell, the general manager in Atlanta. Regarding the expansion draft, because we'll have another icing call here. What's interesting there, Mike, is the expansion draft is in the very near future. Dallas has too many goaltenders.
Yes.
And good ones, including Belfour along with Roman Turek. Will they be able to make a move and probably trade Turek before that particular draft or expansion draft?
Yeah, that'll be a week from Friday. That's 8 days. And if they wind up playing all the way to Tuesday, that's 2 days.
Not a lot
I
of
realize
time.
you can make a phone call in less than 2 days, but can you negotiate and get something done in less than 2 days?
Bob Gainey, the general manager of Dallas, is one of those people who can pull something off like that. Roman Turek is a terrific big goaltender. But here we go, another face-off. Pekka Nieuwendyk.
That's not a phone in his hand, is it? Okay. Dixon Ward brings it on from 90. Plays the heart around. Sabres pour in and try to keep play alive. Murata back to Ward, took the hit, got it behind Pekka, stood up and then sent down by Zubov. The battle continues. 2:15 to go in the second period. Fed back to the point. Warner there with a shot right into the glove of Belfour.
Yeah, this is an example of Dallas. This is how their period's gone. They got themselves a brilliant power play goal scored by Sador, and it was a perfect shot after a perfect pass from Modano. But as far as offense goes for Buffalo here in this period, there hasn't been any what we call quality shots. The Sabres just now won the battle along the boards, moved the puck back, and Warner had nobody in front, and he was rushed, so he just threw a wrist shot that Belfour calmly made the save on. Does force a face-off, yes, but it's still nothing of quality. Warner threw the puck to the front of the net. There was nobody there at all. Again, 1 goal scored. Sador got it. A brilliant pass from Modano. Perfect shot. Perfect. Over the shoulder, and it almost takes a perfect shot to beat Hasek. So here we go. Curtis Brown's been the best face-off man in the game for Buffalo. Can he win an offensive draw to set up offense? And again, Modano can sweep the puck backwards in that way. Matvichuk is back there. He's a left-handed shot. That means if the puck goes and sits here, he can fire it on his forehand around the net. That's why they have a left-handed defenseman there. And Modano talking to the linesman, probably trying to set up his timing for the draw.
All right, now what would he be saying to the linesman?
I mean, possibly, you know, you're going to drop it quick. You're going to let it set up. You want him to put the stick down first, or what are you going to do? Now, Brown has talked to Warner. Brown is a left-handed shot. He has Warner directly behind him. See if Brown can draw it back. Modano, bad wrist at all. He's been awesome.
There are hurts that are not known and those that are. And the ones that are more impressive only because we know about them. But I think the significant thing is how hard this game has been played, how much hitting there's been, when there are undoubtedly injuries we don't know about on both sides, and how courageous this is. Well,
see, the key here, Mike, is Modano's turned his hand over. That gives him leverage. He can't bend that wrist. So he's just going to try and pull it back. He doesn't have to put his stick down first either. He's already timed it and pulls it back nicely. Do you know that Modano gets the needle just above his thumb, right at the wrist? That's where they inject the needle into to numb the pained part so he can play. Then they slide the cast on, tape it together, and away he goes. And it stops the wrist from bending.
1:50 to go, second period. Dallas ahead 1-0. Matvichuk trying to jam it further. Bouncing puck is hacked by Shatan to the corner. Able to stagger free and get there, though, as Sanderson closed off by Modano, and Modano sent it around the wall and back down.
He's the X factor, and so far that X factor has been pretty good. He's had a great 2 periods of play here, and it makes Dallas look like a different team.
Long toss back out. Sanderson wants to step by, can't do it this time. Poked on by Hatcher. It caromed over for Lettinen, dumped it ahead for Modano, but it's Jitnik. Teams are making another change. Modano has come off. Jitnik stepping ahead, trying to step his way through. Hit and knocked down by Hatcher. And it's angled off the glass and back down, and Hasek will watch as Smelik trying to come back, and Hasek decides, I got to do something here, and does. Dallas in the midst of a change. Little pass brought ahead by Holzinger's got a man on the wing. Feeds it on the cross. McKee drive, and a save by Belfour.
Oh, there you go. Buffalo got a defenseman in on the offense. McKee with the shot. Here's an interesting story. Well, let's look at Hatcher's play here on Jitnik. Stands him up. Bang! Jitnik got up, and he was mad, and he took a run at Carbonneau. And then went to the bench for a change. Now here's Holzinger on the puck, and he looks to his left. It's a defenseman, McKee. Rolling puck, blasts it, and I'll tell you what, Belfour, no action in the period. It's a rolling puck, so a goalie, it's like a knuckleball. How do you handle it? And a great save by Belfour on a terrific shot by McKee. McKee played junior hockey, was running out of sticks, so he started using a short blade. Lindy Ruff says, hey kid, you're playing at the NHL now. You got to lengthen the blade of your stick. You're a defenseman. McKee said, well, I won't be able to shoot the puck very well with a bigger blade. Lindy said, how many times a game do you shoot the puck? You got to handle it, get a bigger blade. So he did. Yet he was able to move there, and with that bigger blade, put a good shot on Belfour. Great shot.
The only chance Buffalo has had in this period to score. Chances overall are 9-6 Dallas in the game. Shot deflected and lob back out. The chances in the period are Dallas 6 and Buffalo 1. 28.3 seconds to go in the second period.
That was the one. That was a great shot by McKee, and Belfour stayed with it. A brilliant save. Don't tangle with that kid Sloan, Mike. Black belt, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so if I were you, I'd mind your P's and Q's if I were you around him.
University of Michigan championship team in 1996. And now listen to this, John. Voted college hockey's finest citizen 1997, year after the championship. And is a solid citizen out there tonight in this whole series. I mean, he's been really good.
He loves to hit. He was a defenseman. They moved him up front when he was playing in the minor leagues in Houston with the IHL. So they moved him up to forward, and he loves to take the body.
No icing on this. Zubov. Langenbrunner. Oh, turned over. Parada shot sticked aside by Belfour.
A good pinch by McKee sets this up.
Away from Langenbrunner, 7 to go. McKee tried to throw one in front, has it again. Time for one shot. Here it comes, and it's slowed, and that'll do it.
Big action in front of the net. Verrata was there. He's so big and tough. And he was working with Nieuwendyk. They really went. You know what? Buffalo in the last 2 or 3 minutes here found their game a little bit. They had a very quiet period. Now here's Verrata going to the front. He's pushed into the goaltender by Nieuwendyk. Verrata's strong, hard to move, and Nieuwendyk stayed with him. Buffalo started to play with a lot more passion and desperation late, found their game, and it should set up a great third.
The end of the second period. Dallas 15 shots, Buffalo 14. 1-0 Stars. Susie Colbert, Terry Crisp with the new Dodge intermission report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Richard Matvechuk just cranked it back in, and it skipped away from Hasek. Chipped on by Zhitnik. Karam's back, and they feed it the other way, going for Verrata. Verrata plays the hard around.
So there's a puck deep. Get it deep and see if you can recover it. That's the big test now.
That put off Matvechuk.
See Schmeling, the defenseman, deep, Mike?
Yeah, all the way to the corner. He took the hit, but got it around to Verrata, sent it across the net mouth wide. Drive by Pekka, and that one went off the glass. One of the philosophies Buffalo had was to try and get traffic in front of Belfour. Quick shot went wide. Speed was just a little weak for Lettinen to get the shot away that he wanted. Even though he was set up well on the 3-on-2, here's Zubov dropping it on back. Slugged back in by Sador. Stopped by Hasek for Jay McKee. Gave it away. Stepped into a man. Nieuwendyk wanted to get a shot away. Backhander is saved by Hasek and then dumped back off by Brown. Sador took the high, hard hit from Shatan.
And Sanderson put up in place of Cunnyworth on his Brown line with Shatan because Buffalo needs offense. They need offensive players on the ice. So Lindy Ruff makes an adjustment.
Oh, Nieuwendyk with one. Another try by Zubov, and it went wide. Now here's Langenbrunner, a shot shanked down by Brown. Battled for there, and McKee needs some time. Didn't get much. Turned it along, and Reed was there. Reed nearly stripped to the puck. Good close-off attempt by Schmeling. Puck tipped back for a shot by Zubov, and that one went wide. Jam back along by Shatan, still not out. Now it's on to Sanderson. Able to peel away from Zubov. Jeff Sanderson crossing. Sanderson looking for an opening. Cruising on in. That one across. It was tipped away by Carbonneau. Jason Woolley spun by Carbonneau. Puck came along further. Zubov took care of his man, Shatan, and it skips all the way back down. There'll be an icing touch-up, and the clock stopped. Let's hear from Joe Micheletti.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Now, the Dallas Stars, as we've seen here to start the third period, they want to come out and play aggressive, but the message to their forwards is this: don't get two forwards caught and create a 4-on-3 that Buffalo can go back the other way, because, again, their defense jumping into the play. As far as Buffalo is concerned, still not shooting the puck enough, and they want to play 4 lines early, thinking that Dallas will cut down to 3 with Hull being hurt, and so they're going to try and wear them down early and hopefully take more chances to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Mike, JD?
That's pretty logical thinking on Buffalo's part. Rolling 4 lines is something that they've done really well, and Brett Hull cannot play every shift. Neither can Benoit Hogue really in this first outing. As down to the ice went Holsinger. Crossing back now is Keane. Keane, a shot deflected high, and it pops into the 7th row.
You know, Holsinger was trying to move out of the zone. And as he moves towards center ice, he and Carbonneau met up as the puck was there, and that allowed Dallas to move into the zone. James Patrick did a good job getting across the block to shot. So Carbonneau gives his team a pretty good shift. Now here comes the 4th line now for Dallas in the start. We're 2.5 minutes into this third period, Mike, and already 4 lines for Dallas as Carbonneau gets on the ice. with Hogue and Hull. Now for Buffalo, their fourth line gets out there, centered by Primo. So both teams, 2.5 minutes into this third period, have already used 4 lines.
It's an interesting statistic you saw there. Even though Dallas is the older, or is that, John, more experienced team?
That's better, Mike.
It's been interchangeable, but they have had the stronger shot total in the third period when you think they might wear down. Primo and Skrudland, just like two cats about to go at one another.
Cunningworth moved back to this fourth line where he was in game 4 of this series, working with Primo and Rasmussen, and they do a lot of hitting this line if they're on.
Boy, some thumping hits that time by Dallas. It's trickled back down.
And that was Brett Hull, but he turned his body and went in rear end first to protect his leg.
Off of Rasmussen. Ludwig goes back, matched up with Sean Chambers on defense. Makes the safe play that rockets on around for Hull to spin back out between the defensemen. Warner tapped over to Jay McKee. Cunningworth. Primo. Primo has Rasmussen. Good quick wrist shot blocked off by Belfort. Primo turning. Got it along for Warner's shot. That blocked away by Chambers. Jammed around behind and Chambers strides to it. Unmolested for now. He popped it on further that went off the glove of McKee. Offside. Clock stopped. 1-0 Dallas.
Again, Mike, we should make the mention. That's Brown, the centerman. Their line has always had to go up against Hatcher and Matvichuk in this game. They know that this is the scoring line for Buffalo, and Sanderson, number 8, he's been moved up to play left wing here in the third period with this line. Sanderson's got great speed, but only 1 shot through 2 periods.
Sanderson fed it ahead. Shatan moving on. Matvichuk, second effort, but he put it into Brown. Brown looking through one. That was away from Sanderson. Drive by McKee. Stifled by Pat Verbeek. Now Shatan tried to center. Loose puck scrambled for. Came back along to Sanderson. Then foisted away from him by Modano. Modano saw it come right back to him, and this one kicked back out to neutral ice.
And the Buffalo defense trying to pinch. Warner kept the puck in once, couldn't the second time.
Away from McKee, but back to Jeff Sanderson. Sanderson run off by Nieuwendyk, but not until they turned it loose to Sador. Daryl Sador forced further, put it through Hatcher. Grabbed by Nieuwendyk, and Nieuwendyk steps ahead. Nieuwendyk with a wrist shot, deflected up into the seats.
We talked about Sanderson being moved up to play a different position. In other words, with a different line. Why? Because of the speed. That was in the series with Toronto. A brilliant goal in game 1 of that series. And then here he is, game 4 of this series on the breakaway, going around Eddie Belfour. So that's the reason why Lindy Ruff has adjusted his lines a little bit to try and find some offense. His team has only had 15 shots through this portion of the game. And sometimes that speed can make a difference to try to provide offense.
Jeff Sanderson from Hay River, the Northwest Territory, went a long way from home, all the way down to Swift Current, Saskatchewan, to play junior hockey.
And now lives during the offseason in Whitefish, Montana, a beautiful area. There's a lot of the fly fishing and streams and lakes in the great state of Montana.
Oh, and wiping out was Sador. Meanwhile, the puck chipped on for Langenbrunner, lobbed it ahead, and this is a 2-on-1, but the puck left behind. And into the seats.
Sador had to make an adjustment, Mike. The puck was moved into the zone, but it caught the crack of the boards and jumped back out the other way, and it surprised him. And now he's taking a good look at the boards right now, trying to figure out where that crack was. Now here you see the puck just came off the boards in a very strange fashion, right in between. You see the crack right along the boards, right down in there. Whoops, I'm sorry. But Sador went back to that corner and took a look for it and found it to try and find out what happened. He's looking to his left, expecting the puck. Look at the puck. He caught that crack right down in there and went back the other way. So he tried to change direction and blew a skate.
Oh, it's Zhitnik. A 1-0 game. Such small things as just an extra piece of wood can mean so much to the turn of play. Zubov. Keane. Melik was on him. Keane trying to kick it along. A scrum. 15:15 to go in the third, and the clock stopped.
The new Fox Sunday is going to be a blast when King of the Hill and Futurama move to their new nights. The best night on television just got better with King of the Hill and Futurama. It all starts Sunday at 7, 6 Central on Fox.
You know, this little scrum we just saw, Mike, along the boards. Schmelik, the defenseman, look at him move in. Now, see this guy right here? That's the centerman, Holzinger. He's got to go in and fill in. If the puck moves up, he's there. And he's the centerman. These defensemen are pinching. That's Schmelik. On the other side, it would be the other defenseman, Zhitnik. And it's always the centerman that goes back to fill in case the puck goes by him. Buffalo trying to find offense, sending the defensemen in as much as they can to keep the play alive in the offensive zone.
Sean Chambers. Woolley will go back. Another icing. 15 minutes to go in the third period of play. There have been some crunches in this contest.
It's a big hit by Lettinen. There's some crashing and banging. It hasn't been what we term a real physical game compared to the others in this series. But there has been, as we just looked at, a number of fairly good ones, but not nearly as many, Mike, as what we have seen in probably 3 of the 4 first games of this series. Now the Sabres trying to force issues with faceoffs. Sometimes you play for a loss of a faceoff because Dallas wins so many. The puck goes back. Carbonneau wins. Let's see if Juneau can get to it first, or will Keane pick him off? See, this is Keane. Whoops. To the left side of Barnes. See Keane there? He's now looking back. They're now putting time back on the clock, Mike. I think the clock may have gone down a second or two. If the puck goes back, Juneau, if it goes back in here, Juneau's going to try to get there. Keane's going to try and pick him off. Sometimes you have to try to do something if you win a draw or if you lose a draw.
And kept by Woolley at the blue line. Onside play. Quick shot by Stu Barnes was blocked away. Woolley striding back after this. Carbonneau right on him. Shuttle back off, and they turn it over from Barnes to Juneau and right back to Stu Barnes. Barnes flying ahead. Had a poke checked away, overskated by Juneau. Pass ahead for Blake Sloan. Down to the ice had gone Keane. The fans upset by no call. Patrick fires it back around the wall. It came all the way to Matvichuk. Diving play on him by Barnes and a good defensive play. And it's brought back out to neutral ice. Juneau trying to pick his way through but can't. Just no room.
The back checking of Carbon all over Juneau. Great play by Barnes to work the puck over the blue line. But Dallas was right back on the back check.
Zhitnik. Too far. Madonna blocked and then held by Dominic Hasek. And a little extra.
Zhitnik tied up with Patty Verbeek. Zhitnik has had 25 minor penalties in the playoffs. 9 in this series. And I asked Lindy Ruff, I said, are you a little concerned at all about Zhitnik taking penalties? He said, no. The tougher he plays, we don't mind killing his penalties off because the tougher he plays, the better he plays. And those 25 minors is the most since Tony Granato playing for Los Angeles, who had 25 way back in 1993. So Zhitnik has played tough, he's played hard, and the Sabres don't mind killing a penalty or 2.
He became a professional player in Russia at 16 for Sokol Kiev. 16 years old. That's like Joe Nuxall with the old Cincinnati Reds pitching at 16. And Viktor Tikhonov saw him and wanted him. And being a good negotiator, Alexei decided, you get my dad a car, okay, maybe I'll join you.
And they came through, didn't they?
They came through.
Dad got the new car. And Viktor Tikhonov, the veteran coach, got Alexei Zhitnik. What a great player.
And Zhitnik got a gold medal in '92 with the unified team. Here's Hasek, who had a gold in '98 with the Czech Republic. Sped back along by Zhitnik, kept alive by Madonna. Got the little pass across Madonna. Steps right around. Circling behind the net, looking now for a play to make. Gave it to the back. Matvichuk put it around from Madonna. Crushed on by Hasek. And it's pitched high by Sanderson.
Stars are trying to avoid Hasek right now because they have the lead. They don't want to take a penalty hitting him.
Curtis Brown brings it back in. Schmelik all the way at the lip of the crease. Now moves to the corner to play it. Got it along for Brown. Cut off, though, by Matvichuk. Matvichuk for Dallas, and then it's jammed out. Pat Verbeek able to foist it to neutral ice. Curling right back with it is Sanderson. Sanderson pivoting. Wrist shot is held by Belfour. And play is stopped.
Oh, when you have speed and you use speed, good things happen. Verbeek knocked the puck out of the zone. There were some changes going on, and Sanderson jumped out there and got the puck. Here's Verbeek. He just pushes the puck off the boards and out of the zone. Now here goes Sanderson as you see the Dallas team changing. Look at them all. So Sanderson goes wide on Hatcher and forced wide already. I mean, there's nobody there. They did a great job coming off the bench. Nobody there. So it's a bad angle shot, and Belfour the save. Look at Sanderson. Look at Big Hatcher. Got to get around him and the reach. He pushes the puck way ahead of him, and then with his speed just put the puck on goal, hoping for a rebound. But Belfour, who hasn't had much work, able to hang on in a calm fashion.
Buffalo 16 shots, 2 in this period. Dallas 17 shots, 2 in this period. 7 minutes have been played. Sador's power play goal, the only one in the game.
Mike, Pekka lost the draw there on purpose in my mind, and they tried to keep the puck in, didn't, when it forced an icing. Pekka lost it on purpose, never even had a stick down. Stop it there, guys. The boards are taken away there, and these guys are going around to that side to take away the boards. They want the turnover to create offense, but the puck got out because Reed took his man out at the blue line. Pekka lost it on purpose, and they're trying to recover. Here's a closer look at it. Watch Pekka, how he doesn't even work at the puck when it's dropped. Nieuwendyk readies himself. Pekka stick down, but he doesn't even move. Look at that. He let him win it on purpose. And a moment ago, they did the exact same thing when Nieuwendyk won the draw. And Buffalo's trying to find a way to force the turnover after losing the draw.
Boy, that is interesting. You just have this preconceived notion that both guys are going to try to win a draw, and it's not that case. Cunningworth got it ahead now for Rasmussen and back in.
When you're not winning them, then you try to lose on purpose and recover the puck. It's a set play. We saw the Florida Panthers do that against the Philadelphia Flyers in a playoff series one season. And Lindy Ruff was part of the coaching staff for the Florida Panthers at the time.
That was 1996.
Thanks. I forgot.
Just comes from being old, John. Not forgetting, just having a knowledge of one day.
Having a better memory.
Here's Woolley. Woolley flipped one. Oh, and it was directed on goal by Wayne Primo. Rasmussen took a swat, able to dump it to the back. Schmeling threw one in front. Oh, and Belfour got it. You heard the loud thump of the pad. He was able to cradle it and then crumple on his back.
Through traffic, and then Primo threw a shot into the nose of Sador. Sador's legs folded like an accordion to try and draw a penalty. Did he? He might have, or they're both going to get it. Good shot through traffic, not hard, and for a goaltender, it's a nightmare because you don't know what the puck's going to do. The softer the shot, more of a chance of a deflection or change of direction. Now here's the shot from the blue line, kept in nicely by Schmeling. And Belfour squeezes it. Here's Sador and Primo. Shot and a shot, and then Sador's legs. I mean, they just gave right out. He thought he drew a power play, but they both get it. This shot here's not hard, but sometimes it's deflected. Now here's Sador and Primo. They go nose to nose, and they both get a penalty on the play. So we'll have some 4-on-4 action. Now watch Sador's legs here. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it or not. He really dropped trying to draw a power play. Thought he did, but both players were given penalties.
Primo and Sador roughing at 8:21. Only about 3 minutes of 4-on-4 play in this entire series. Neither team has scored that way, but of the 8 goals in the playoffs this year scored 4-on-4, Dallas has 5 of them. Here is Zubov.
Holzinger here on the ice for Buffalo. He has great speed. Here's a chance with open ice for him to do his thing, as does Modano, who too is out there.
Gave it on to Zubov. Pass ricocheted away from Modano, and so Juneau hoping to counter. Spiked right away from him by Lettinen. Then back on to Zhitnik. Offside.
Not much space. I tell you, when Modano's out there and he's wild offensively, he gets it going. Having Lettinen with him as Randy Cunningworth is having his jersey repaired. Lettinen is out there all the time with Modano on the penalty kill, 4-on-4, even strength. Lettinen's brilliant defensively. I mean, he's brilliant. So he's always back and smart and in position if Modano's up ice. There's the elbow pad being repaired, put back into place with some good old tape. Sometimes these players at the end of the season like this, they've worn equipment all season long, and quite frankly, it just rots. It gets so old. But you piece it together and keep playing. Now Nieuwendyk's on the ice opposite Pekka. I think Nieuwendyk's one of the better players in the entire league. 4-on-4. Newendijk can fly. He's big, he's strong, he finds loose pucks, and he'll be a job here for Pekka.
Chambers. Langenbrunner, but McKee. McKee back with a big drive that's deflected into the seats. Well, Game 6 on ESPN coming up Saturday. That's definite. If a Game 7 takes place, it'll be on Fox back here on Tuesday. The start times of both, 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
And good luck to our friends at ESPN, Gary and Bill and Al and Darren and Barry and
they've got
Brian, all the guys. Hope they have fun.
Indeed.
And if I missed somebody, I apologize.
See the Stanley Cup there? They have imposed a limit this year. Only 52 names per team can be put on the Stanley Cup. The list was getting longer and longer each year, it seemed, and so they decided we have to have a number here.
Didn't somebody put their daughter on one year or something and they had to take it off?
It was tried. We won't mention names. Peter Poplinson does get embarrassed by all this.
Yeah, Edmonton Oilers at the time.
Langenbrunner put it back in. And then it's angled back across for control by Warrener. Brett Warrener backhands one that's wide of Belfour in the cage. 10.5 to go, third period. Thrown back behind the net. Catan. Pekka, but off his stick. Zubov on him. Pekka to the outside, though. Warrener. Mike Pekka. Half a minute left on the coincidental penalties. Langenbrunner flipped it back out.
This Buffalo team did a good job on Newendijk. Again, he's a brilliant 4-on-4 player, but Newendijk never got past center ice.
Brett Warrener took a whack from Mike Modano. Brown reaching, taps right back. Warrener covers again, away from Lettinen.
Sanderson just wants the puck right here, Mike. Only 4 seconds to go, 4-on-4, and he never got the puck. With all that speed, he never got the puck.
Sador and Primo are out. Full strength action now with 9:35 to go in the third period. Sador's goal, the only one. Zhitnik crosses, clipped one that shanked off Modano. Played right back out by Chambers. Grabbed very quickly by Brian Holsinger. Then Zhitnik. Alexei Zhitnik flies it ahead. Moving in is Holsinger. Holsinger threw one off the stick of Belfour. Scramble for it! And it's Holsinger up with it, but then it's thrown back along for Sanderson. Down to the ice went Holsinger. Puck underneath.
They're yelling, play it. That's Gary Fraser, the referee, yelling, play it, and they did.
Keen clip. Schmelik tried to keep. Blake Sloan went rushing in. Schmelik pursued by Sloan. Richard Schmelik looks ahead. Missed for Sanderson. Back down it goes. Icing. 8:44 to go, third period, and no change in the score. 1-0 Stars. Fouls. Offensive zone face-off for the home team. Joe Newendijk will take the draw. Wayne Primo next to him. Jay Shares drops it. Buffalo wins it. Banged off the wall, kicked away from Primo, up to Woolley. Hoisted ahead, Randy Cunneyworth, 38-year-old veteran, brings it ahead. Ran into traffic at the Dallas line.
Regroup. Will Buffalo throw it deep? Yes, they throw it deep. They keep it away from Belfour. Now it's puck recovery time. Look at Warrener in there. But Reed was on him, and the puck's out of the zone.
So Buffalo's strategy is to just keep doing what we just saw.
Yeah, get it deep, plug the boards up, but try to keep the puck in. For Dallas, they've got to be strong on the boards and move the puck out of the zone. And we're not seeing a lot of wide open action, but we're seeing some hard work by these players. Hard work.
Probing continues. Hatcher flipped. It's kept alive. Stu Barnes steps by. Barnes put it on goal. Stick safe. Belfour. Rebound. Loose puck in front. Oh, Cunneyworth couldn't grab it. But Belfour could.
There's that bad angle shot Joe Micheletti was talking about. Throw the puck at the net. From any angle. You never know if you find a rebound. The real bad angle shot. It hits Belfour. The puck does, but it goes right to the front of the net. Sometimes you can find rebounds by doing that. Hatcher's on the puck, and there's Barnes way up high playing the boards. Does a nice job. And then as the puck goes low, watch the bad angle shot. And where the puck goes, right in front. And then you just never know. And Belfour able to hang on. Now earlier Belfour did a nice job curving his stick. See the stick itself? Just watch what he does as the puck comes across. He wants to get the puck away and in the air. So he keeps it at an angle and does a nice job with it. And then Pekka and Zubov, watch this. You think this hurts? Ouch. Look at Zubov's face. The heel of the blade of Pekka's stick above the hockey pants. Ooh. But that's hockey. Just keep right on going.
Pain thresholds are high, aren't they?
Oh. Let's see if Pekka lets Modano win this on purpose again, or if he battles to try and win it. Looks like Pekka's going to try in this one, yes.
Careful play by Ludwig. Came back on now for Zubov. Dumped along by Modano. Trying to step through as Lettinen put it in on Hasek. Right back along. Oh, and Woolley trying to whack it on. Couldn't do it. A shot was saved. Rebound! Put to the glass by Modano. The initial shot had come from Zubov. Still the battle continues. Verbeek trying to get free. Now it's Modano on the outside. Lays it along to Verbeek. Flips for Lettinen. Just stymied off by Zhitnik, and so it is Zubov dropping back.
You know, Mike, really, both teams have been brilliant in their own zones. Hasek that time had to make a save, but he hasn't had much work.
Here is Ward pivoting. Swung one across the net mouth wide. He was trying to connect with Barada. Zhitnik put it along, and again Ward threw it out in front. It was away from Pekka. Challenging, but unable to come up with it was Schmeling. Meanwhile, back they come. It might be a 2-on-1. Moving on in is Mike Modano. Sends it back. Zubov, a shot. Saved by Hasek.
What a save by Hasek. Zubov jumps up on the play. It looked like a 2-on-1, then a 2-on-2, and all of a sudden it's a 3-on-2. And it all started again with this Dallas team working the puck out of their zone along the boards. Look at the play along the boards. Along the boards, letting into Modano. He's got Verbeek. It's a 2-on-1. Now all of a sudden it's a 2-on-2, and down the middle, Zubov, and Hasek closes it up. I don't think there's a goalie in the league that's better than Hasek at closing everything. There's a hole right now through his legs, but he closes it and squeezes the puck. Hasek really moves up. Look at the holes. There's all kinds of holes, but watch him close it up. Reads the drop pass, moves out, holes, and closes. Beautiful goaltending and a big-time save with Zubov jumping into the play. That's what's going to happen, Mike. Buffalo's going to force the play to try and create offense. They're going to get trapped now and again, and Hasek's got to come up big, and he just did.
Buffalo prevails on the faceoff. Joe Juneau took a hit high from Chambers. Hoisted on back by Skrudlin. Brian Holsinger covering for Buffalo. Warrener ahead. Misfired on the turning touch attempt by Stu Barnes, and it just jammed back in for an icing. McKee with that. Tonight's check of the game is brought to you by Canada Dry. Blake Sloan, of course he's involved, and it was into Rasmussen. We mentioned earlier that some players put on skates at age 2. Eric Rasmussen's first team was in St. Louis Park, Minnesota at age 5. That was his first team, and his coach was Don Rasmussen. Brian Holsinger, the Hobey Baker Award winner, mentioned his first team was at age 7 in Parma, Ohio. His coach was Tony Iacobucci. These are the seed planters that never seem to get a lot of recognition, but they are the guys that help start these players along, whether they wind up playing for enjoyment or for a living.
And you were just in Colorado Springs, correct?
Had a chance to see a lot of those people at the USA Hockey Annual Awards Banquet, people who have started hockey programs and made the sport so strong in the United States. Privileged to be there.
The people that really care.
Puck held at the point. Patrick flipped one, and that skipped to the corner. Just over 6 minutes to go, and it's still 1-0. Here's Chatan turning with it, trying to tie it up. Firing, and it's blocked back to him by Sloan. Chatan again, hands it over. Patrick a drive. It's deflected wide. Sanderson got a piece of it. Thrown into Belfour, and play stopped.
And James Patrick with a big shot. It went off of Mike Keane, I believe, his stick. Boy, oh boy, Sloan did a good job blocking his shot. Watch Sloan, number 11, darts out. Chatan drops it and turns, and the block. But the Stars collapsed to one side. The puck went across to James Patrick. Look at the opening here for just a moment. And then Keane's there. It deflects off of him. Oh, just wide of Eddie Belfour, who was able to somehow find the puck. Does Belfour get a piece of this too? I think so. I think it went off his catching glove, just the edge of it. knocking the puck just wide of the goalpost.
For those of you in the Eastern and Central time zone, stay tuned for your local news immediately following tonight's game. Series tied at 2. Dallas ahead on an early second period power play goal by Daryl Sador, 1-0.
Right now on this face-off, Mike, that's James Patrick, the defenseman. They've got Sanderson, who's got a great shot back at the point. So a percentage play by Lindy Ruff and the Sabres to try and get a goal.
Who has it? Woolley stepped across. Chatan checked off. Brown stepped into by Nieuwendyk. Reed at the half boards, but it is kicked along by Patrick and feathered through to Brown. Then back on Brennan. Tapped goal by Sanderson. Another try. Scramble at the front of the net, and it came back to neutral ice. Oh, a close call there. It cycled back on, but intercepted by Langenbrunner, and he's taken to the boards and glassed with authority by Woolley. Brown brings it back under 5.5 to go. Regulation time. Pass was too far for Sanderson. Chatan tried to get it to Sanderson. Yanked through by Zubov. Taken by Chatan, but knocked off his stick by Langenbrunner. Attack and resistance. Zhitnik brings it ahead. Alexei Zhitnik, a shot snapped out of the air by Belfour, and traffic all around behind him.
I'm not sure Belfour knew he had the puck. He looked behind him. The puck went into his catching glove, but he just wasn't quite sure that it stayed there. It was a Zhitnik shot. Watch the catching glove. He gets it up. It's there. Now look behind him. Oh, maybe just looking for the action of the players going to the net. Belfour looks calm. Pushes off the one post. Made the save on the play. In front, right through everybody. And Woolley, the defenseman, right on top of the goal crease, trying to find the puck. Couldn't get it. Boy, Eddie Belfour has really been calm all through the playoffs. Goes through acupuncture, goes through the work of a chiropractor to try and stay in top form. His back not bothering him because of the commitment that he's made to staying in shape. And he's been good.
It is Ward. Fed one. Oh, and it was away from Verada to control. Went right by him and is thrown back off by Madonna and back down. Zhitnik will go back. He'll arrive first for the icing touch-up. And again, play is stopped. 4:52 left in the third, and 1-0 Dallas. The face-off, puck to the back. Holding it is Zhitnik. Tries to get by Madonna, and Madonna kicks it back out. Here's a 2-on-1. Moving on in with it. Matvichuk to Verbeek in front. Score! To help Madonna with scoring. Madonna has been the best player in the game. Watch Pekka and his team actually win the draw, but watch Madonna win the battle here. He's been awesome. He wins the battle from Zhitnik, kicks the puck ahead. Matvichuk will set up for Beek, fakes the shot, goes around Hasek. Brilliant play all the way up the ice. Matvichuk, watch this pass. Underneath. Fake shot, and around Hasek goes for Beek. Matvichuk looks, he reads the play, makes a brilliant pass. And Verbeek, who was put on the line by Ken Hitchcock to play with Madonna because of his finish, gets the job done. And what a play by Madonna, best player in the game. What a play he made to move the puck out of the zone, Mike. The severity of it all is only open to speculation, but it is severe, and that he has been so good on faceoffs. 12 wins out of 19. That he has had assists on both of the Dallas goals. Mike Modano has just been spectacular, and Pat Verbeek, a guy who has had 40 in this league in regular season before, cashed in a huge win there, his third of the playoffs.
Verbeek on the line because Brett Hull would usually be there. He can't skate well enough with the bad knee and bad groin. So Verbeek is put there, and does he ever come up big? 4:20 to go now in the third. The Sabres, who were pressing, finally paid a price for their pressing.
Holzinger's pass dribbled on. Here's Joe Juno with a shot. Stick save made by Belfour. And it's spun back down. Will it be an icing? The arm is up for it right now. James Patrick back, sure enough. 4:05 left in the third, and the face-off back near Belfour.
This will be face-off number 13 in the Dallas zone this period, but they don't mind. They know how to win a face-off even if they lose the draw. And Madonna did it. He got to Zhitnik, and with a bad arm and all, worked the puck out of the zone. This guy has been just awesome the way he's played this game, and he's coming out for more. Boy, has he been the X factor. He has been really something. And Buffalo are just trying to work face-off after face-off to find offense. Medvedchuk drew the other defenseman across. Actually, it's a forward, looked like Verada. And there's Verbeek going around Hasek and scoring the goal. Both defensemen caught off ice for the Sabres. Again, they put Sanderson back at the point here, Mike, as Brown's going to try and draw it back to Sanderson, maybe even off the boards. And they put Warner in front, a defenseman. Warner's in front, Chatan's in front. Brown's going to try and draw it back to Sanderson. Madonna will obviously try to stop that. A lot of face-off alignments here. Players are pointing, asking the coaches what to do.
You saw McKee shift there as the puck dropped, and Madonna got help from Medvedchuk to play it back off. Some good crunching across the way. Warner able to keep it. Really worked over by Lettinen. Puck popped out of play into the Dallas bench, and a little extra there, and more.
Warner gave a chop to the back of the leg of Verbeek, and that got everybody's attention, including big Darian Hatcher. The Sabres know it's a series. The Sabres know it is Game 6 in Buffalo, and this is not over. I mean, until the series is over, so you just keep right on battling. You're going to see Verbeek move across here with Chatan and hit him. Now Warner will come in from, you see him in there, he'll squirt out of there and then use a stick right across the back of the leg of Verbeek as Verbeek is holding off Chatan away from the puck. And O'Donnell slides in, and at one time in this league, O'Donnell was considered a soft player. But has he ever matured? Has he ever become a good player defensively and works obviously with the offense?
Well, he was considered a one-zone player at one time early in his career, and now Ken Hitchcock says he's one of the most solid three-zone players you're going to find.
He was a big minus player, but got 50 goals. But that didn't win games. Now he's a big plus player and gets in the 35-goal range and has become a star with a star here in Dallas, two ways. And the Sabres, I mean, they're a very, very resilient hockey club. 3:54 left. They trail by 2 shots. They'll battle. They have never yet in the playoffs quit. They don't even know that word.
Medvedchuk. Verbeek closes with McKee, and it squirts by. Chatan flips it across. It skipped back over, trying to step in, though. Unable to do it was Warner. And it's back in deep for Hatcher. Just over 3.5 to go. Dallas has iced it again.
Well, there's been a lot of that, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it'd be a penalty, too. We've got a penalty coming up. Called by Don Kaharski, and Warner's going to go. He's been getting mad. He's going to the box this time. 3:24 to go in the third.
Teams tend to pull goaltenders as you get closer to a minute, but the deficit is 2, and they're shorthanded by a man now. Here's Langenbrunner. Drive, and that's shrugged off, and then covered by Hasek, and play is stopped. 2 goals in the tilt tonight. Daryl Sador with a shot that could not be more perfect. Top shelf. Power play goal early in the second, and then a 2-on-1 feed, and Verbeek on the backhand. 2-0, and that's where we stand now.
And Dallas on the power play. Here's a look at the beginning of their power play. Langenbrunner knows, don't be too fancy. Don't create a turnover. And he takes a high, hard one. And Dominik Hasek fights off and makes the save on. That's interesting here. I'm looking at this Dallas power play with a 2-0 lead. They've got Reed out there on it. If Dallas was losing this game, he wouldn't be out there. They'd have an offensive player, maybe Brett Hull. But Reed's a defensive player, and they know that this Buffalo team may try for the shorthanded goal. But with Reed out there, that cuts the chances down. He's a smart, real smart defensive player. Look, he's back there right now facing Zhitnik.
He's 14 in white. Sador steered it across. Zubov banged to the wall by Holsinger. Chatan there.
And with the lead, Dallas does not have to play Brett Hull any more than necessary. And allow him to try and be somewhat healthy for Game 6 of this series Saturday night in Buffalo. Zhitnik and Nieuwendyk. Here we go. Zhitnik started. Nieuwendyk went back at him, and Zhitnik got the stick right up in the kisser, and this got the two players going.
Well, you mentioned earlier that Zhitnik has led the playoffs this year in minor penalties, and if this is a minor, he will have established a new NHL record, one that he probably doesn't really want at this point, especially with his team shorthanded and down by 2, and there still is 2:33 to go.
Dan with a takedown of Sidor was on top of him. Nieuwendyk and Zhitnik were the two that got after each other. Here's Nieuwendyk on the puck. Zhitnik's a hitter. Got up high and hard. Nieuwendyk got mad and went back at him. Now watch Zhitnik here. Bang, right to the jaw. Zhitnik is tough. He's got legs like tree trunks. Wide, big, strong man. Very, very strong. And there he showed his strength. But his team's still shorthanded. Minute 4 on Warner's minor. Second defenseman Zhitnik now in the box, and I'm sure Nieuwendyk is in the box. Yes, he is, for Dallas.
When the power play ends, if Dallas has not scored, it'll be 1 minute and 29 seconds to go. And with a 2-goal deficit, if it still is that by that time, that will be pulling time for Dominik Hasek. Zhitnik the rough, Nieuwendyk the elbow. Elapsed time in the period 17:27.
And here's where the two referees have to be sharp. It's a series, not just a one game here. It's a series. So they've got to be very sharp, no matter what the score is and how late it is in the game, to keep an eye on what possibly could happen.
Another face-off win for Modano. Hatcher put it back in, hit a glass support. Hasek had it played. Then along to Patrick. Dumped back along and kept by Chambers. Handcuffed a bit. The puck came ahead to Sanderson. Sanderson crossing, pivoting, looking for a pass. Sanderson with a shot. Oh, and that ricocheted in the front of the net. Don't think it got all the way through to Belfour, but it is taken now by Chambers. Sanderson able to knock it away, but it's Hatcher. Stood up by Sanderson. Puck flipped along by Lettinen. Came right back towards Sanderson. Lettinen recovers. Gives behind to Chambers. Under 2 minutes to go. Power play still on for 24 seconds. Modano gliding ahead. Shoveled it off. Got it back again with a rising shot that went into the seats.
Mike, 2 men deep for Buffalo with Barnes along with Sanderson because they're trying to find a goal shorthanded. They had 2 men on the penalty killing unit in behind the goal net. And that allowed the Stars to come out with a 4-on-2, and Modano eventually gets the shot on goal. You'll see the puck end up behind the net. Look at these two guys. They're right inside here. They're trying to create offense. 2 men deep. You never do that if you're winning and you're on a penalty kill. Now it's a 4-on-2. And Modano eventually got the shot on goal, but it went, well, actually off goal because it went into the stands. And because of that, the faceoff comes outside the zone. Boy, has he been good. Wow.
You don't play without hurts. Separated shoulder, 17 games. MCL of the right knee. That's a medial collateral ligament. My doctor title is only a philosophy, so I just know it hurts. And it's hard to play on it.
Well,
and then, of course, the hand.
Forward to Saturday night, too. This Buffalo team, brilliant on home ice in the playoffs. Game 4, they were awesome. They'll need that type of effort against the Stars Saturday night. They have 1.5 minutes to go here to try and find 2 goals.
Warner is out. So now it's back to full strength. Now we'll see what happens in terms of Hasek and trying to get that extra man. The big blast, and it is blocked down by Belfour. Hasek was at the hash marks, has not come off yet. Zubov lifted it on back. 1:12. Buffalo needs 2.
Hasek went to lead, but nobody at the bench was waving Hasek to the bench, so he stopped and went back. No coaches gave him the wave. No coaches have yet given him the wave. He's looking right now, and he's staying there. Now they wave him. Now.
So the net is empty at the other end. Brian Skrudland up with it. Flips one. That pops all the way to neutralize it. Shuttled on for Langenbrunner, but spiked away. Drilled back in by Warner with 42 to go. Off Belfour. Jammed along behind by Chatan. Flicked along, though, by Hatcher. Puck knocked loose and taken by Holsinger. Centering pass in front. Scramble for it. Backhander by Woolley is knocked away. And then cleared back off the glass and a stoppage of play and a penalty.
I think Primo was knocked down to draw a penalty with 30.5 seconds to go. Hasek to the bench with 55 seconds to go. The extra attacker there And it looks like Brian Skrudland is making the slow skate to the penalty box. Primo was flattened in front. If indeed was Primo, it's Skrudland on Primo, the two centermen. In front of the net, you'll find the puck in a moment. A crazy bounce off the boards again. Puck will go towards the front of the net. And Primo down. Skrudland gets the call.
Tripping call. Buffalo to go to the power play for the third time, and Buffalo will talk all this over during a timeout.
Well, it's got to be almost 15 faceoffs in the Dallas zone here in the third period. But very few times off those faceoffs have the Sabres been able to generate a shot on goal. They've tried everything. They even tried on 2 draws to lose the draw on purpose, one on each side of the ice. But each time the puck came up the boards and the Dallas players were there to squeeze the puck out of the zone past the Buffalo player trying to keep the puck in the zone.
Wonderful hockey. It is a 2-goal lead, and that's been a rarity. Mr. Thorne and Clement and the rest of the ESPN gang will have Game 6 for you Saturday night, 8 o'clock. If it goes 7 and Buffalo wins that one, then it will be back here for a Game 7 on Tuesday. That, of course, presumes that the Sabres don't stoke a couple on and force overtime. It will have to be a miracle play or series of plays. There are 30.5 seconds to go, and they need 2.
Right now, Primo on the inside. He's the big forward right here. He'll go to the net. He's huge and tough to move. Carbonneau and Keane out there on the penalty kill.
Net empty, no penalty for shooting it all the way down if you're Dallas. Quick shot was deflected away. Shitnik tried. Around behind and scaled back to the wall. Woolley has it. Woolley looking, firing one off. Thrown to the front of the net, but blocked off by Matvichuk again. Around now for Shitnik, 14 to go. Shitnik centered one. It came back to Barnes. Barnes at the slot and a shot blocked down. Scramble at the front of the net. They keep poking away with 6.8 left.
I think, oh boy, did Verada put a shot into Carbonneau. Mike, the puck can't get through. Keane blocked the shot. Hatcher blocked the shot. The Buffalo team trying everything to find a way to get the puck through to Belfour, but can't. 6.8 seconds to go. Still a power play, but it's 2-0 Dallas. And after each whistle here, it's gotten nasty. Hatcher and Shitnik having some words. Keane, I think, will dive across here and make a save there. No, it didn't. It hit Matvichuk in front, and then Shitnik went at it with Hatcher. And they got nasty, and then Verada got up on the other side of the ice and really gave Carbonneau a shot. So this is to the trenches, folks. Verada's a strong man. Really a strong man. No penalties handed out. 6.8 seconds to go.
Again, 17,001, most of them standing. It is about as least used a set of seats that we have seen in recent playoffs. They stand a lot here. Hasek watching from the bench.
Shitnik now taken off the ice. I don't think that Lindy Ruff wants to see Hatcher and Shitnik go at each other. Shitnik very valuable. Warner too valuable, but he comes out to try to get to the front of the net. So Shitnik giving a bit of a break here with this game about to expire.
On to the back. Hurried shot. Blocked down by the defense. Spike tied. 2 seconds and 1.
There it is. Warner, Hatcher. That's why they didn't want Shitnik there, Mike. They didn't want Shitnik there because Hatcher and Shitnik, if they went at each other, they didn't want it. So Warner went out there, and he's a tough scrapper. And he went at it with Hatcher. And again, the Buffalo team could not get the shot through to the net. It's 3-2 now in favor of the Dallas Stars. Eddie Belfour with the shutout. Madonna was brilliant. Look at Hatcher in front. Warner went right to him. Hatcher worked him over with the cross checks, and then they just got after each other. And Warner is hurting, folks. His right leg buckled underneath. Oh, no. He cannot put weight on his right leg as he and Hatcher went nose to nose. Hatcher, the much bigger of the two. Oh, boy, you hope Warner's okay.
New Dodge player of the game, Mike Modano, is downstairs with Joe Micheletti.
Before this game tonight, your coach conversation with you before the game.
Yeah, we did. Last night he actually called me at home and we talked on the phone. And I know I haven't been a factor the last couple of games. I've been kind of hanging around waiting for things to happen. And I feel uncomfortable with my hands, but I just had to do some things the other way and just try to get involved, make some plays. And the hands coming around is starting to feel a little stronger.
You said this morning that you couldn't take any faceoffs, yet in this game you were dominant. What did you do differently on the faceoffs to control them so much?
Well, we've been experimenting with some casts, and I found one tonight that really helped me get a little more mobility and some movement in my wrist. I was able to get some strength on it, and you know, give it to my trainers. They came up with a good concept, and it worked tonight.
Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for the time. Congratulations.
Thank you.